All right, guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be making an adapter for the tailstock of a Southbend 9A. So that way we can use these adjustable die heads. These are the geometric brand specifically. And I have one more off camera that I'm currently cleaning up and getting all the crud out of it. So for this one, so this is a 9A, Southbend 9A tailstock quill. And we're gonna be machining another one of these with this adapter. And it'll look something like this by the time it's all done. So we're gonna be machining one piece out of this steel that I had laying around in a stockpile. So this adapter will fit the back of these adjustable die heads. So that way it could fit into the tailstock of the lathe and have enough rigidity to not spin in the tailstock. So right now I'm using a Jacob's chuck, and it's not working out. It just keeps spinning, spins in the quill over here, and it's just a mess to use. So let's go ahead and make this and see if it works out. I've never tried to make anything like this, so it'll be good to test myself, see where I'm at with machining and designing.
I'm using a 4-jaw chuck, and surprisingly, the piece is in a good spot first try. Usually it takes me a few turns and a few tries to get everything dialed in. I used a ball bearing steady rest since the part was sticking way out of the chuck. Being that the part was rusty, it made some unfavorable noises in the steady rest. But it wasn't too concerning. Everything was pretty stable. And I was happy with the overall setup. Over here, I'm facing off the part so I can drill a center hole and support the part with a live center. And I tell you that the sound coming from the steady rest, from the part turning in it, it sounds really crazy. But no harm to the steady rest and no harm to the part. So here I'm forgetting I wanted to drill for the live center before cleaning up the piece. But it's nice to see the steady rest doing a good job. Part's not deflecting or moving anywhere. Being that this is one of the biggest parts that I have put in this 9-inch lathe, everything looks to be all right.
So I set the part up to machine between centers. I've never tried this before, but I feel like I'll get better results this way, more repeatable results than tossing it in the 4-jaw chuck and dial indicating and everything. I'm pretty sure, I mean, everything looks pretty straight. I got this counterbalance pretty well. Spinning pretty good. Everything looks straight to the eye. There's no crazy vibration. I haven't ran the part on it yet, so we're gonna see. We're gonna find out. I haven't run the tool on it yet, so we're gonna find out. See what's going on here.
So I've tried countless times in the past to set up a part to turn between centers, and I just couldn't really get the setup dialed in. I was not confident at all. But I felt a little ballsy on this part, and I said, let me try it out. And being that it was a bigger part too, it was perfect to turn between centers. Let me tell you, doing it for the first time, it is a little sketchy because, you know, you turn it apart, you have the cutter on it, and it doesn't feel like it's supported, but it was good. It was tighter than some of the setups I have in a 4-jaw chuck, 3-jaw chuck, and I'll definitely do a setup like this if I can again, for any big parts. But it is sketchy, you know, having a part come loose, go flying around in the shop. Definitely don't want to lose any teeth. But definitely was a good learning experience and a good time. So far, I'm happy with how this part's coming out. Turning between centers got me able to dial in the quill part of this piece. At the end of it, I'm dead on my number. In the middle, I'm dead on, and then towards the middle of the piece, it grew about a half thou. So I'm within a half thou. Turning this on a lathe from 1949. It's a 75-year-old machine, and I'm happy with the results that I'm getting. So once I cut the keyway and thread the barrel at the end of this quill, I think this is going to be a solid piece. This is a Bison 5C collet chuck, and I have to say it comes in very handy, especially when using the milling attachment on the lathe. It holds the end mills nicely and doesn't really give me any issues. I got this collet chuck when I picked up my second Southbend 9A. The one I'm cutting on right now, it's a 4.5 foot bed, and the other Southbend is a 3 foot bed. Both of them were in good condition. Being the one that I'm with the 4.5 foot bed, it was in near pristine condition. The ways were nice. They still had the scraping on it, and it was actually used in a home shop just to cut brass parts, which was very favorable to me, and it wasn't subjected to any heavy use. Here I'm using a 29/32 drill bit, and I'm gonna use a boring bar to finish off the last few thou before I test fit the adjustable die heads. The fit of the adjustable die heads in the adapter was nice. I did leave an extra inch of stock on this part as I was turning in case I messed up with the boring bar. So then I ended up just cutting the last inch of this part, and the adjustable die heads, they fit nicely into the bore, and the wobble was minimized to about like a 10 thou, maybe 8 thou wobble. This is a 2564 drill bit. It's for a 1/2 inch 10 TPI left hand Acme thread. So before I decided on going with the 2564, I didn't have anything else that was close enough. I believe a letter X drill bit would have been a little better. But I was able to cut a test piece with the 2564 and single point cut the internal left hand Acme threads. And I was able to successfully screw the tailstock handle for the Southbend. I was able to screw that in successfully with no issues. So before I butchered the final piece, I just, had to make sure that I got everything squared away on the test piece first. I'm gonna make this a 2-part video. The next video should be me cutting the internal threads and figuring out a way to cut the keyway, since I do not have a milling machine yet. I do have a milling attachment for the Southbend lathe, so it'll be interesting to see if I could set that up to be able to cut this whole keyway. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys next time.